from an ASP.NET application. The page load method shown here is a method that is called when the ASP.NET application is first loaded. The method reads the value associated with the query string parameter called nameKey. It then checks to see if the nameKey value is null or empty, and if it is not, it outputs a greeting using the value of nameKey. Can you see the vulnerability in this method? If the problem is not immediately apparent to you, try applying the pattern above to this code. A cross-site scripting vulnerability occurs at the code highlighted. The value from nameKey is untrusted, and the method pageLoad embeds that data in a web response without encoding it first. Security code reviews are done as part of the security push phase of the Microsoft SDL. The security push is a team-wide effort that focuses on updating security documents, performing code reviews, and conducting other risk identification activities. Security pushes begin after a product enters the Microsoft SDL verification phase and when the product feature set and code implementation is nearing completion. Security code reviews are not restricted solely to this phase. It is also recommended that security code reviews be performed during development as code nears completion. Trying to condense a large number of code reviews in a short period of time, such as the security push phase, can negatively affect the quality and integrity of the overall security code review effort. Security code reviews should be done on all Priority 1 code. Priority 1 code is code that is most prone to security vulnerabilities. Guidelines on how to classify code by priority is outlined in the Microsoft SDL Process Guidance paper and the Microsoft SDL book. Any component of code that has experienced a large number of security vulnerabilities in the past is also considered Priority 1 code. The definition of large can be highly subjective and will differ from project to project. However, it is still important to review these components, as it is more likely that additional security vulnerabilities will be found in code previously having a large number of security vulnerabilities versus components of code that historically have not had many vulnerabilities. If time permits, Priority 2 code should also be reviewed. Priority 2 code is optionally installed code that runs with user privileges. The Microsoft SDL also defines Priority 2 code as any code that does not meet Priority 1 criteria. This concludes the discussion on security code review. Security code review is a manual process whereby developers, testers, and security analysts review the source code of an application and make note of any coding patterns that could negatively impact the security posture of that application. At first glance, the security code review process may appear to be an unnecessarily manual duplication of other automated assessment methods, such as code analysis tools. On the contrary, security code reviews are unique in that they take contextual information about an application into account during the review. This helps to enrich the overall review process and has the effect of producing deeper findings and findings that are more relevant to the actual intent of the application. Security code reviews do not negate the need for other security assessment activities. In fact, the benefits from security code review are further amplified when security code reviews are performed in conjunction with and complementary to other security assessment activities. Prioritization, information from threat models, and results from code analysis tools can help to better refine security code review objectives and improve results. Information about the vulnerabilities identified during security code reviews can be used to update training materials and internal processes to help ensure that the occurrence of those vulnerabilities are reduced over time. While Microsoft's ability to continually deliver safer and more trusted applications to its customers through the Microsoft SDL can in part be attributed to extensive security code review efforts, security code reviews, like any other assessment activity, have certain disadvantages. Being manually intensive and highly dependent on the individual skill level of the reviewers are some of the aspects that have prevented security code reviews from being broadly adopted. However, disadvantages such as these can be overcome by following best practices, such as using a multi-pass approach, focusing on high-priority code first, and establishing clear objectives before initiating the security code review process. When these best practices are followed, security code reviews can become a very powerful asset in application development team's security strategy. Lastly, the insights gleaned by Microsoft, which are incorporated in its SDL, and more specifically in this presentation which focused on security code review, have been shared with each of you as a way for our organization to enhance our application development practices and the security of our applications. This presentation content has been created